I'm the man, yes sir, that killed the bear barehanded so the people won't forget it. Getting money for our legal to drink. I care what a broke nigga think.
Just like the pack of Lewis.
Look, everything I do so cold. I can do this, both eyes closed. Too short, I stay on my toes. About that guap boy, anything goes. Help the bear if we outside. Help the bear if we outside. Still tipping, baby, nothing changed. I'm still grinding over here, yeah. Still sliding through my own lane. Shorty, nothing funny over here. Dallas rain everywhere around me. Dream to get money. Made it through the storm, living sunny. Dreams came true, now we eating. I got more dreams to chase, gotta reach them. Trying to put a team together like the Hunger Games. Everybody grinding because we all came from hunger pain.
That's right, yeah. Late Ill Kid at OneYoungsta. Hold it down, bringing that StreetGeek and NERDSoul. What is up, my people? Today, coming with another wonderful episode of That's Right, You Best Believe It, I ain't gonna tell you no lies. We are back with That's Thumbnails for y'all, man. That funky, fresh thumbnails. We're getting into Star Trek Prodigy. It's been a minute. You know, they went on a little break. Now they back. Now, since the break, I will catch up real quick. We've had Star Trek Discovery on Sundays. Instead, we got the whole crew. We got Hannibal Taboo, Solar Grade. Those guys are awesome. They're super duper fresh. So do not sleep on the Sundays. But now that Discovery is on break, tomorrow, which is Sunday, we do Boba Fett at noon PST. But we've been on break. What's been going on? Discovery's been dealing with an anomaly. It's been going crazy. You got Tarka tripping. You got President Rilak tripping. You got, she might be tricking. I don't know if she's tricking. But you got Michael Burnham trying to figure out how to handle this, how to deal with the crew, the whole issue with the political play. The Admiral ain't helping her out. Got a whole bunch going on there. And the show has been fresh. But now we back with these young cadets, all right? These young skillets. All right, they're out there. This is set, I believe they said this is set 5 years after Voyager returns to Earth. So this is kind of like around that time, and you got the young youth rocking the gold tooth, slow goose, you know what I'm saying? Only way they could get the G off is drug loot. So the crew has just kind of got out of some hot water. They have used the protostar and realized, this thing is insanely fast. Like 4,000 light years. She like, we was in the Delta. Now we in the Gamma. Gonna be in the Lambda. And look, all I know is they went super duper fast. And it kind of gave us a good idea of, I guess the power of the protostar or the speed of the protostar, which is cool. They gave us a good look at, what this bad boy could do when you open her up. You get out on the highway, the open highway, and you let her go. You know what I'm saying? So it was good to see that. But this is an episode that really dealt with with Dal and everything. Dal learned a good lesson this episode, which we knew an episode like this would have to happen, where he kind of finds the value in leading his team, and that's through the Kobayashi Maru, the Kobayashi Maru test that they have for all captains. Now, the cool thing here is we introduce him and can't remember his name. Let me pull it up. But we introduced them to the holodeck because remember, all this is new to them. You know what I'm saying? So they like, look, we don't know about no holodeck. And they go in there, they're like, oh, it's cold and it's crazy and this, that, and the third. So seeing that was pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? But now they know, all right, this is something where we can choose to do whatever they want. And Janeway has them, Janeway got them going here, there, everywhere. Had them in the gladiator joint. That they was like, look, we don't want to be on this. But of course, Dow being the kind of guy he is, once he hears about the Kobayashi Maru, homie is like, well, shoot, I want to do that. You know what I'm saying? And seeing his arrogance turn into almost insanity. Oh man. At first he was like, oh man, I could do this. I ain't worrying about this. And let me see, what was the guy's name? The guy's name is Jankum. Yeah, Jankum was the guy that was with him. What's up, Enram? So it was good to see his arrogance kind of slowly turn. Because at first he's like, yo, I got this test. And he loses and loses and loses. And we get to see a good example of him not giving up when, he could have. So we know that this is someone who doesn't give up. We just know that this is also someone who is, self-centered due to what he's been through. He's always been on his own. So he's very self-centered and slowly learning to make this about protecting the crew, about the people on the ship. And it's not just about making yourself the star. You know what I'm saying? And I thought that was dope to put in a nice little episode, wrap that up with a bow. But we got some great little, cameos in there. Because she threw him on the bridge of Next Generation, but then gave him Spock, gave him Odo, gave him Nichelle Nichols, gave him Uhuru, and gave him Beverly Crusher. And kind of thought it was a slight cheat because he got Uhuru and Spock. And I'm like, hold up, shouldn't there be somebody from like another time, another ship or something? But, look, they got what they got. I would have liked to see Worf up in that piece, but they didn't have nobody in the, I don't know, the upper bridge. I don't know what they call it. Look, you know what I'm saying? It's the bridge and the back bridge. It's like the bridge in the front with the people that's sitting down and the bridge of the people that's standing up. And Worf was usually back there like, yo, what's up? So it was cool to see him receive wise counsel from people like Odo, from people like Uhuru, and he was like, I don't care. He was like, let's go. The funniest thing, homie was like, look, let's be out. They were like, don't you want to stay? Nah, nope. Let's go. They was like, but we got to say to people. He was like, no, we don't. And then even after going back and forth with Odo's like, yo, man, we shouldn't do it. And he was like, all right, let's go. He was like, but you can't leave him. He was like, but you just told me to go, or you just told me to save him. Now you're telling me not to save him. Like, so it's, of course, it's a perfect example of kind of like this unwinnable mission, even though he did win, sort of. Technically, he beat the Kobayashi Maru. Technically, he beat it. The him blowing up the Enterprise was his own kind of like, I guess his own kind of like arrogance, silliness, incompetence. So as far as the Klingons, he had beat them. He had stopped them. The threat was gone. But he found out that it's like, yo, you the issue, man. And I like that little heart-to-heart that he got with Spock, where he was like, yo, man, look, like all great captains got to do this. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to be a great captain, you got to be thinking about the crew. You got to be thinking about it. It's about them. You know what I'm saying? If you can't lead, they ain't gonna have no faith in you, man. Like, you got to be leading for them, not leading for yourself. And so it was a cool moment. A moment that I think could have been cool was Gwen and Zero. Gwen and Zero. All right, so Gwen's feeling kind of bad, and Dal is like, we had to come back and get you, even though we know, what I'm saying, we know Dal, he kind of feeling that, but we give it that. So her feeling sad for herself, I kind of get, you know what I'm saying? Because even in the last episode where we covered this, I was kind of sad that, you know, her dad did choose the ship. You know, I get it. Even though we don't know exactly why they need the ship yet. I mean, we do get a cool flashback, which I'll talk about in a minute, but Gwen is down. And, you know, even with Zero checking all her, you know, bones and stuff and making sure she's, you know, physically good, she's like, you got low serotonin levels, but, you know, you're fine, you know, as far as like your body and no broken bones, no torn muscles, ligaments, whatever. And, you know, she starts to talk about her feelings about her father and like she has nowhere else to go. And Zero's like, well, yeah, that's how I felt when I was taken from my people and stuff like that. And Gwen kind of goes on to say this. I don't remember the exact quote. You guys will probably know or drop it in the chat or drop it in the comments later. She says something like, you know, I didn't know that, but I should have known. And I'm like, hold up. Didn't we already go through this when you were talking with Rock? Like, come on, man. No. You know good and well these people were not coming of their own, you know, own volition to come and dig up rocks for your daddy. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. You even went to a deal where a dude essentially sold a kid to you, man. Like, stop it. Like this whole idea where it's like, I'm gonna remove myself from how my dad enslaved people. It's like, you was there. You were doing it too. You were forcing these people into, you know, searching for this ship or what. Well, I don't think you knew he was searching for this ship. I can't remember that, but whatever. You know, he was forcing people. People were not there because they were like, it's so cool to dig up rocks. All right. So this, I'm tired of like her, and maybe it's the writers trying to be like, yo, we don't want to like make her too bad because she need to have some sympathy. I'm like, nah, bruh. Look, I can have sympathy for the fact that her father would have basically left her for dead, and also say that, yeah, you're still wrong. You were on the side of the slavers and you knew you were a slaver. Like, don't come in here like, oh, I didn't know nothing. I don't know nothing. So you missed me with that. But I am able to have compassion for the part where her father kind of like left her, because I was like, dang, son, like, but we knew it was going to happen, and I wish that I felt better about it, but I was still like, man, it is kind of whack. So seeing her kind of slowly lifting her spirits and kind of getting through it, even though you know how I feel about it, I'm like, it's kind of whack, but I guess it's, you know, it's all right. You know what I'm saying? It's all right. It's what we gonna get. And, you know, of course, we got to kind of protect Gwen's, you know, kind of like status as a good or good-ish guy, or somebody was just doing the best they could when, you know, good and well, they was like chilling, kicking it, while everybody else was like under the threat of dreadnought. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that I thought was cool, to see her like slowly get it, I guess, again. But moving on to our side mission, before I talk about the flashback, we get Rock Talk. Well, no, we kind of get Murph. Finding out Murph is essentially indestructible, I guess, which I'm sure will come in handy later on. But Murph is like, I know Murph is supposed to be like the pet or whatever, but I don't know, man. I feel like Murph is gonna get them in more trouble than out of trouble. And I know Murph ain't doing nothing right now, but I feel like the aloofness and the unknowingness of Murph is gonna get the team in trouble. I don't know how. I can just feel it in my mind, right? In my soul. I can feel it. But one thing we do get to learn is that Gwen and her dad are the last two of her kind, which is interesting, and it kind of lends a little bit of information onto why they're searching for the protostar so bad. They need it, I guess, to survive, you know. And Dreadnought talks to her dad about like, I guess, a council or whatever, where it's like, hey, it's like, hey, diviner, the council says that you can't do this or whatever. And he's like, well, look, if we don't find this, there ain't gonna be nobody left to be on the council or whatever. So there is this kind of, I guess, threat of being extinct, I guess, behind this. But the way they're going about it, I'm still not trying to hear. We also see how Gwen came to be, because I'm thinking, we're all thinking, oh, Gwen got a mama. Gwen ain't got no mama. Like, their people just take like a piece of their blood and they put in some water and it kind of makes a baby and with some tubes and stuff. So that's how she came to be. So we ain't got to worry about casting or remembering or flashing back to no mama, because there ain't no mama to be had. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no mama up in here. All right? So you forget that. All right? It's done. There ain't no mamas. But that does also kind of give you a better insight to how much this affects her being apart from her father, because she is a part of her father, even more so than, like they took, like little particles or whatever. So I can understand her being kind of like in a depressed state and whatever. And even though it wasn't all good, knowing that Janeway is kind of like, I want all you guys here. You guys are my new crew. And not only are you my new crew, but I've accepted even Gwen, even though she was like a prisoner when she came in here. And we get to not only learn that from the flashback, but also learn that there's more to Gwen's people behind the protostar, because when they're kind of, I don't know, I guess requesting information or asking Janeway like, hey, why is the protostar here? What's so important about the protostar or whatever? We see Janeway glitch, and almost like maybe she's been erased or wiped, or maybe like something happened that crushed the data files or something, whatever. We do find out that there's a knowledge gap in what she remembers or what she has in the historical record of the ship. And then we find out that the blank spot or the missing spot is written in the text of Gwen's people. So Gwen's able to unlock this like treasure trove of information and kind of change the game, which is a huge realization for the crew and a huge realization for Janeway. Even though Janeway is a robot kind of hologram version, she's still like Janeway. She is. Unless we meet the real Janeway on this, she's the Janeway we got. Just, I guess, between that and kind of like finding or unlocking something like the next step for the ship, and between finding that Dal was the reason everybody came back to save her at the end was a great, moment for her to be like, you know what, I feel accepted. I feel like I'm a part of this team. I feel like, I can be involved. So that's cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm not made of stone. All right. I'm not made of stone. I'm not gonna do you like that. Come on. I feel you. Just, oh man. Gwen, I know. It's tough. It's tough. But now that we have this, we have a great mystery, because now we find out there's a flashback, or I guess a holo recording of an older crew that Janeway was with and now aren't there. We ain't seen no dead bodies. We ain't seen nothing. So this opens it up to like a whole new ball game, which I love. We got a brand new mystery. We got a whole bunch more information. The crew is kind of there. Dal has now, kind of realized where he is and what the kind of man he needs to be after having that the test for the Kobayashi Maru and the heart-to-heart with Spock. So these things are kind of coming together now, and they're even contemplating going to the Federation, which I think could be good for the story and bad for the story. It could be corny because they could be kind of stuck into protocol, or they could like take the ship from them and just kind of like, or it could be cool where they kind of take them in and like, all right, well, look, we got to put y'all through real training. You know what I'm saying? And let y'all be part of cadets to kind of see what that track is like, maybe. So I don't know. I don't know if it's the best idea because they kind of went back and forth on actually going to the Federation. So I don't know I don't know how I feel about that one. Maybe they should stay away from Federation, at least right now. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Or it could be interesting just to see them come in contact with another Federation ship and then be like, yo, who are y'all? Then be like, we a special branch. Don't worry about that. They'd be like, what are your security codes? They'd be like, don't worry about all that. All right? Just know we the Protostar and you, good day. So we'll see how that plays out. But I almost wish this was the mid-season finale, but this is a good starting point because I think this leaves you on a better cliffhanger than the last episode did. But maybe as starting the second half of the season, this is the way to go. We're starting back up. And we got a brand new mystery for everybody. Who was the other crew? Where are the other crew? What happened? So I'm excited. And this show looks great. I love the animation and the voice acting. So I'm here for it. Probably gonna watch that episode again. I dig it, man. Like Prodigy comes through. Star Trek, ever since Star Trek came back with Discovery, they've been pretty much on point. Lower Decks is on point. Prodigy is on point. Discovery is on point. Picard is okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going front like, I was super about Picard. But I mean, look, everything can be a hit. We also got Strange New Worlds coming. And we kind of met the cast from that on the Star Trek event that they had in November. I think it was in November. So we met the cast of Strange New Worlds. We still have that, was it Section 13 or Section 31 show where Michelle Yeoh will be in. And Michelle Yeoh is finally getting her love, which I wish people would have recognized her earlier, but look, hey, better late than never. So Michelle Yeoh is gonna be in that. So I'm hyped, man. Like I ain't gonna front. Trek is coming through, man. So this is a good time to be a Star Trek fan because there's tons of stuff out there for you. On top of the comics that they have for Discovery and stuff like that. So guys, of course, holla at me. I'm holla at you. Down in them comments, let's talk Star Trek Prodigy. Loving the show. And I really want to know what happened to that other crew because if there was another crew, and this is a big ship, like this ship is not a small ship. So it's like, where are the other, I don't know, a ship usually fits like, I don't know, a couple hundred people. Like where, I mean, we see that the ship can run with like only 5. So maybe it was like a ghost crew of like maybe like 10 people, but where they at? Like there ain't no sleeping pods or dead bodies or nothing. So I don't, maybe they teleported out of that joint. Who knows, man, guys. But of course, let's talk about it in the comments. I'll see y'all next week for Prodigy, but I'll see you tomorrow. Well, no, tonight for Black Together. I'll see you tomorrow for the Book of Boba Fett. All right, don't sleep. That Book of Boba. All right. Woo, Boba Fett it had some heat this week. So, NERDSoul, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all those places. Hit that thumbs up if you like what you're seeing. Hit that thumbs down. If you don't, we got podcasts. We got Spotify for music. We got a whole bunch of dope things coming to you. Today, I will start getting out the gifts that I got for the Patreon supporters. So they will be coming to you soon. And I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. So we got PL Parker Lewis. We got Arcatron. And from us to you, of course, peace. We out. Oh, you want to come in? You gotta make sure you make a. You see this, right? You see how I be trying to have a show. Say hey.
Hey.
Say how you doing.
How you doing?
Say I love all y'all.
I love all y'all.
Say peace.
Peace.
We out, y'all. Gone.
I'm the man, yes sir, that killed a bear barehanded so the people won't forget it. Getting money for I was legal to drink. I care what a broke nigga think.
Just like the pack of Lewis.
Look, everything I do so cold. I can do this, both eyes closed. Too short, I stay on my toes. About that guap boy, anything goes. Help the bear if we outside. Help the bear if we outside. Still tipping, baby, nothing changed. I'm still grinding over here, yeah. Still sliding through my own lane. Shorty, nothing funny over here. Dollars rain everywhere around me. Dream to get money. Made it through the storm, living sunny. Dreams came true, now we eating. I got more dreams to chase, gotta reach them. Trying to put a team together like the Hunger Games. Everybody grinding cause we all came from hunger.